Climate change is no, nobody cares about the Earth. Nobody cares about the planet anymore. No, too dramatic. The Russians rigged the 2016 election. No, nobody cares about that either. Toy Story 4 is a dumb cash grab.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
What? Who are you?
Who am I? Why? I'm your conscience, of course.
What's a conscience?
What's a conscience? I'll tell ya. A conscience is that still, small voice in the back of your head that people just won't listen to.
Yeah, I don't think I really need that.
Now think about what you're saying, young man. You don't need a conscience. Well, what about your morals or your social standing? Or just think about all the folks that you could be offended with your impulsive need to share your thoughts.
Well, I gotta share something. I got a lot on my mind, you know. What would I even rap about with my conscience in the way?
You could talk about your food. Dinner, maybe. What was that delicious dish you had?
Ramen noodle.
Yeah, talk about that.
I don't think people want to hear me rap about ramen noodles.
I would.
Yeah, well, you're not people.
I beg your pardon.
You're just kind of irrelevant these days.
Irrelevant?
I mean, where have you even been these last 4 years?
I've been very busy. It's not an easy life for a conscience.
Right. Well, I have an album to record, so I'm gonna need you to, skedaddle.
You know what? I know when I'm unappreciated. I have worked too hard and for too damn long to be disrespected by a no-brain rapper punk such as yourself. And you know what else? I don't give a shit. Do whatever the fuck you want. Sully your internet persona. See if I give a rat's ass.
Okay.
Anyway, you're just another washed-up wannabe has-been. Except you never were. Ungrateful millennials. None of you guys know what the hell you're talking about anymore. Sucking the life out of pizza. Sassafras.
Well, it's been a couple years since I had a beat bopping and bapping in my ears. Always been a sincere rapper, so I never feared what I'm saying, no. Now I'm all aware of my career goals. On the social media, when manic, I've been panicking about a fantasy that when I'm 30, I'll be vanishing. Cause I've been failing miserably at stamping ground in this industry. And the animosity is about my anonymity. Cause I've been making shitty rap since I was just a kid. And Eminem was spitting vitriol and fucking up the industry. But now I'm 29 and borderline a sort of recluse. Future me is 3D printed VR in my bedroom. But let's take it back to when I was a little menace and looking at rappers like they were just God sent. And everything they said was food for thought. Bennett, I could have ended up there, but instead I'm dependent on people's impressions of me. I'm a lost soul, reeling in likes and loves when I wanna feel whole. But I never feel totally fully confident, ever clever though. Cause I spin a web that I'm doing better than ever. That's an embellishment. Typically hell is my mentality, even when reality is just daisies and valley. And my malady is a melodious motherfucker. My motives are questionable, but I'm full of love. I just wish anyone noticed. Is it sane to hold on to so much hope while simultaneously sinking a boat that was supposed to be floating? Or does anyone know? I wouldn't know. Fuck it, but who really knows?
You and me both were of a similar mind. The demons down deep found themselves intertwined. Dabbling in darkness, we were destined to arrive at the station late at night when the night watchman closes his eyes. I left some lilies on your burial mound, 'cause your mother said you were no longer around. Did you hear me whispering to you into the night? I just wanted to say it's all gonna be alright. One tear for happiness and a smile for a cry. When one of us is under the weather, the other one is high. Everyone would wonder how we could ever get along. When we drag each other down, we end up singing the same old song. I left some lilies on your burial mound, 'cause your mother said you were no longer around. Did you hear me whispering to you into the night? I just want
I put so much emphasis on lyrical fidelity, then I forgot that music is a part of the melody. Guess I've been bitching and moaning on moot points. The cows have been mooing and mulling over, moving me over, cause I oink. Now I'm making farm animal references. Call me Orwell, cause, well, the line before is a prerequisite to understanding what I'm even rapping about. What am I saying? Fuck if I know, let the animals out. This is a zoo. What am I supposed to wait at it, wallow while the bulk of all of humanity is choking and swallowing any bottle full of pills that are immediate? Cognizance seems to have been depleted and clouded. It's a god-awful way to be living. This isn't what I envisioned when pitching the critic mission. I wanted a critical intermission to distance myself from all of the shit that just isn't up to par with what I thought that hip-hop had always been missing. But here I go bitching again, as if I could make a difference. Admittedly, I'm not the greatest in it, just drifted, sifting through thoughts, sipping coffee and perfecting my written. I'm just a critic, hoping maybe someone gives it a listen. But if they didn't, I'm all about my hip-hop, even if you're not. I'm all about that hibbity hip-hop, that hip-hop. I'm all about it, even if you're not. I'm all about it, I'm all about it. I'm all about that hip-hop, even if you're not. I'm all about that hibbity hip-hop, even if you're not. I'm all about my hip-hop, I'm all about it. I'm all about my hip, hooray. Put myself inside this selfish bubble just to make it. They tell me to relax and to have a little patience, but I've been doing it for so long now I'm livid. How can I allow myself to surpass these other rappers only in age? Spiritually I'm in a sage state of engagement and I'm ready to push them out of my way. Now fully out of my bed, racing to put on a pot and pour coffee into my head. Share a status updated and have a conniption over someone's stupid shit or a ridiculous picture. Bitch, I'm critic, I've earned a profanity or two. This just isn't the way that I wanted to do it, but like I once said 10 years to the day, bitch, if vulgarity is all that it takes, then shit, piss, cock, suck, balls, tit, fuck, dick, sass, gonorrhea, Donald Trump, clitoris. It was imminent offensive synonyms would eventually end up in a sinister demo depending on when or if whether anyone was pinning their hopes diligently on critic becoming a born-again Christian. Amen. Tickets, please, this reel's about to get rolling. SoundCloud rappers scrolling, trolls, lols, hashtag goals. You only live once, motherfuckers, go! I mean, action. 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, 4 fake followers all up on my Facebook door. 5 click, 6 click, 7 click, 8. There's a special place in hell for the fakers and the haters and the trolls. More can I pretend? That I'm an internet trend, I'm just a hella good friend, depending on who you ask in the end. It really doesn't matter anyway, so since we're on the subject of love, put it above all the rest. Don't get involved unless you wanna call it a jest, a joust jubilant. I'm in a ball of distress when I'm tripping out on the politics. Slithering snakes, suffer succotash. Someone sipping soda and someone in succubus. Succubi, fuck you pass. Pronounce it, it's all Latin to me, and I didn't get a degree. I'm not an academician, but a bit of a macadamian nut. Going with gut instincts, looking for stink bugs. I think, I'm in a bit of a pink pickle, cause I never figured out how in the fuck shrink-a-dink shrink little. That's one of my little pitiful riddles. Padiddle. Let's try and keep this conversation as civil as possible. What was I even trying to accomplish with this thought? I guess it's impossible to know. What's the next line? Good God. Good? Good God, who let a Mainer on the mic? This is a no-brainer. He should be painting outside lighthouses and lobsters. Painted a delight, blueberries in my basket. King is on my right, Steven. And everyone and their mother is out here getting high, except me. Sometimes. I got a lot of little things that I should be doing, but instead I'm making a mess of myself, if I'm being honest. He's just being honest. At this point in my life, I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm stubborn as mules, but you probably knew it already. He's just being honest. It's a bit of a stigma these days to be stationary. They tell my generation we're lazy, we couldn't care less. But then why are we so obsessed with cashing our checks and putting our best foot forward just to impress the higher ups? They've been looking down on us, pounding us in the ground and not allowing us to have a thought to ourselves. Cause general consensus says that any sort of dissent is akin to bending barbed wire. How dare you dare to go up against the status quo? Don't take it as some incentive to go up against the government or anything. And if you do, don't mention me. I was never here. Here, take some earplugs. See, you can't even hear me. Shh. Keep swimming, death is a definite imminent. F being your very best self for the internet. Cause at the end of it, life was what was definite. And dying alone is second only to life well lived. I got a lot of little things that I should be doing, but instead I'm making a mess of myself. If I'm being honest, he's just being honest. At this point in my life, I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm stubborn as mules, but you probably knew it already. He's just being honest. I know there's a place for me to go, and I'd be remiss not to notice it and go, and I could go it all alone. Nobody would know but me, but nobody would know, and that's the problem with this lonely road. I won't look back over my own shoulder, even though I'm losing my hold of this boulder. One day they say I'll know better when I am older, but I ain't holding out for that day. I don't really care what they might say. I'll make my way along this old dirt lonely road. I'm so stubborn, I'm a loaded gun. If I open up my heart, then the world would take my soul apart and run. They wouldn't appreciate me even if I wanted them to. I don't want a thing to do with them, oh no I don't. I won't look back over my own shoulder, even though I'm losing hold of this old boulder. One day they say I'll know better when I'm older, but I ain't holding out for that day. I don't really care what they might say. I'll make my way along this old dirt lonely road. A couple na 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 nas. A couple na 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 nas. A couple throw away the mirror, face your fears, don't be the hero that you think you need. You need to be yourself. A couple don't forget the people that have paved the path before you. You are not the only hero in this town. A couple throw away the mirror, face your fears, don't be the hero that you think you need. You need to be yourself. A couple don't forget the people that have paved the path before you. You are not the only hero in this town. A couple throw away the mirror, face your fears, don't be the hero that you think you need. You need to be yourself. A couple don't forget the people that have paved the path before you. You are not the only hero in this town. Throw away the mirror, face your fears, don't be the hero that you think they need. You need to be yourself. Don't forget the people that have paved the path before you. You are not the only hero in this town. Guess I'm a little conflicted about the music I listened to when I was a kid, but then the shit that I didn't do, though it was assumed because of all I consumed that I'd be doing stupid shit while I was under the influence. Surprise, motherfuckers, all I got is a mouth and a tendency to let my thoughts tumble about. My thought bubble will burst at the text on a page, second only to the rage I've accumulated. So my brain patterns have been battered and torn to the limbs. So what, I'm still a decent functioning human being, barely to tell me to quit grasping at straws. Cause apparently I've been breaking my back without cause. But that's just cause no one really knows what I'm doing, what I'm pursuing, or what I plan to do when I'm through with it. I took all that I knew, I barely passed school, made a couple of raps, and now I'm cooler than you. Well, actually, no one really knows I'm a rapper. My day job's lugging pipes and cleaning out crappers. But don't let it distract you from the fact that that's probably all that it's gonna take to compete with you whack little brats. Daisy. But it hurts to think about the past. Why on earth would I do it? Why would I want to try to live through it again? I'm a Plutonian. Nothing on earth concerns me no more. The war's what I saw. The poor pitiful people are pouring out into the outer rings of Saturn, despite this intergalactic storm raging and forcing us to risk losing a fourth or more of the whole force. So, excuse me if I'm a bit low. It's as if I just need to be tiptoeing. The flow isn't ebbing, so it's inevitably going to be spelling out my demise. And I'm space suicidal, so afflicted am I. In my opinion, we only have till about 9 o'clock before the oxygen tanks run definitively dry. Definitely I'm thinking there's no way we're gonna survive. But then Steve the co-pilot says, I got an idea. What if we steer the ship into the nearest black hole? Back home they would have said that's so not possible. But out here just about anything goes, and that's how we like it. Me and Steve's sidekicks, space buddies, and we're flying into the path closest and most likely to send us out of the atmosphere and into this massive black hole that we fear. Cause as crazy as we are, we sense when the odds are stacked so high up against us, you gotta break your back just to glean the pinnacle. But then it occurs to us that dinner's gone cold, and likely that was the last warm meal we'd ever know. Space mail our families, we love them, and buckle our belts, put down the visor, and crack a couple jokes to let out any last lingering remnant of stress. Because doubt is the last thing a spaceman needs when he is about to go.
Flip tape to side B.
I, the narcissist, been feeling like I've been living a meaningless existence. So I'm a bit cautious, put me in a box and I might get nauseous thinking of my thoughts. I lost my birth certificate, but I think I'm okay. When the casket drops and we're reminiscing off to the past, we could start a new day. Tomorrow will come just as sure as today did, but the pain will turn a day into eternity. And no matter the lessons that you learn, it's affirmative that your demons will burn inside your body like it's a furnace. And it's imperative that you fan it out and don't bury it. Air it out and don't let it become part of your character. Hear me out, cause I'm telling you now, be aware that it's only a matter of time before it has serenaded you, daring you, blaring like sirens, tearing you into two. Cause you lost where your mind went and you're trying not to come unglued, trying not to appear rude and evolve feuds, or be too condescending, but that is a 22. Catch shoe pessimism, flies and all booze. Cause I don't need a fix to see that I'm on twos, on my life mission, a bruise, none of that soothing. Something to summon my inner soul when I'm bruised and woozy. Used to say, what if anything happens at all? What if I'm in a ball in my room and falling? This moment is not even existed at all, and it's all been a vivid envisioning all along. I, the narcissist, been feeling like I've been living a meaningless existence. So I'm a bit cautious, put me in a box and I might get nauseous thinking of my thoughts. I lost my birth certificate, but I think I'm okay. When the casket drops and we're reminiscing off to the past, we could start a new day. I used to believe that I needed to be other people. The me that I see in the mirror wasn't believable or even feasible. Leave it to my demons to be little me people. Just don't understand that I'm screaming from deep within a soul that I'm hauling about like a boulder. I'm folding up like origami or tsunamis or thermosis coronaries. Ordinarily I would have organized accordingly, but my words are before me now. I'm not even sure of me. Do I exist as a consistent mystery to ponder? And I'm honestly onto something. I think that I'm haunting this earth like a ghost stuck in a globe upholstering home, hoping hopefully to pass the time. But I don't, and I won't if I don't appreciate the finer things and start ironing my wrinkles out. Psychologically I'm dieting, shaving kilos off my maniacal mind. I'm trying really hard to be kind to my enemies, to my friends at least, and my liver. Though I only seem to give a shit when I'm drowning in a river. Now and then I figure, if I do a couple sit-ups, I could maybe counter all the calories I built in liquor. I, the narcissist, been feeling like I've been living a meaningless existence. So I'm a bit cautious, put me in a box and I might get nauseous thinking of my thoughts. I lost my birth certificate, but I think I'm okay. When the casket drops and we're reminiscing off to the past, we could start a new day.
I put myself in a box and look how off I've become. I'm awfully terrified at the seasons as they come, as if I needed a reason to season my steak. I'm down to 2 vices, I thought this would be a piece of cake. Yes, I'm impatient. How long does it take to participate in normal society without feeling the pain? But it's something somehow, in some way, it's gonna stray. Yes, I'm sick of thinking somewhere someone has it out for me. Always walking around with my head 90 degrees cocked, considering building a fort up in the treetops. As for my assistance, I think that you need not. I've been working on myself unsuccessfully too long as it is. And it is what it is, but as far as it goes, I could barely give a shit anymore, as I'm beat to the floor and I can't ignore it. The stress is practically bordering euphoric. I, the narcissist, been feeling like I've been living a meaningless existence. So I'm a bit cautious, put me in a box and I might get nauseous thinking of my thoughts. I lost my birth certificate, but I think I'm okay. When the casket drops and we're reminiscing off to the past, we could start a new day. Ladies and gentlemen, could I have the attention of everyone in the audience and allow me to mention a critic is re-entering the scene looking a dent at this time. Got a clean bill of health from the dentist. What, you ask, has it anything to do with it? Well, it means I'm stepping onto the scene, tooth grinning, tongue-in-cheek, but never soft as a gummy bear. Coming whether or not you wanna be prepared, so beware, cause I'm barely even coherent when I'm blaring a pair of headphones and chopping away lyrically. I'm all intoxicated with the trance. Still here, but I might as well be out in Japan. They hear me, but they don't really feel what I'm saying. It's just cause I don't approach it in monotone. Drake. For Pete's sake, some beat, what's even a good point to stop at? Or is it for all of eternity? Is it that this fire's been burning inside of me only to become ash of a birch in a fire pit? I am not confident, I'm in a constant state of being an obstacle to myself. Always an off shade of gray, faded, looking for ways to embrace days without doubts, clouding up my colorblind gaze, motherfucker. They say to keep your friends close and your enemies closer, cause you never know who's gonna have your back when it's over. When the alcohol is dissipated out of your bloodstream and the only voices you're hearing are yours and they're screaming at you to be a better man. You're pathetic, you know nothing. You'll never get up out of the city you've grown up in, no matter how hard you fight it. Reality's settled, pretty much made up its mind that you're always gonna regret never doing that one thing you never pursued or accomplished. And it's been itching at you since you dropped out of college the first time. No, maybe the second, third or the fourth, it don't matter, it's always been more than you could afford. But you ignore it like the fact that you despise your existence, cause maybe drinking liquor will soften your insignificance, and maybe all this melatonin will make you forget, or maybe someone you know will snap you the fuck up out of it. But I don't know, and I'll be damned if I do, cause I'm floored. My only mission is to make it in one piece to the store. My only wish is to be told that I'm my own sort of great, but also that I'm not alone and bemoaning my own fate. It's just life, what more could I possibly want from it? I've seen as much as I wanted, I felt that I could stomach, I could plummet, but something keeps strumming my strings and reviving me, surviving as dumb as it seems. So monotonous, so masochistic and mean, when it seems obvious that the grass just isn't green as it always seemed to be on the other side of the fence, which metaphorically substituted as a defense for my unhappiness. I'll have you know that I'm not a saint, though that's the sort of picture that my manners will paint. Really, I should be distancing myself from the public, cause I'm troublesome and tend to bubble up when I love it, and God forbid I incur the attention of a crowd, cause that'll be the day that I break out of this cage. I say to myself daily, I call myself crazy, cause I still think daisies await me somewhere in the realm of success. Depression follows me. How could I be so foolish and not acknowledging it? I owe myself an apology, leading myself blindfolded to believe I'd accomplished anything if I died. No one remembers shit, and I'm indifferent cause my ambitions and imminence aren't out of existence. So where have all the positive vibes gone when I'm Sean? I'm just another fish in the pond, but as critic I tend to transcend the surface with words and persevere whether or not I am heard. That's why I'm never lost in my mind. I'm fine, I'm the mastermind of my mind. I walk the line like it's my inheritance, so long as I'm in character. I'm never lost in my mind. I'm fine, I'm the mastermind of my mind. I got shit and has a smile, regardless of the vile condition that has been piling up around them. Everything surrounding them shouts that they are nothing, but they play on as if they were bluffing to make a point. I guess that I could learn a thing or two from such a character, but I am nothing close to comparison. Most days I'm just arrogant, using my talents to paint a caricature. Clever narrative that I'm married to, cause I'm scared of truth and I'm unprepared to make amends to it. Convinced that I blew too many chances to undo it. My ruse is I pursue my dreams to the death for the music. The truth is I'm used to it though, ain't shit to it to me. Fluency is something that I've long since mastered. Knew that I could use as an excuse to wear a mask. Amusement to boost my self-esteem up out of the past, and threw myself into character to inherit the path. Why I'm never lost in my mind, I'm fine. I'm the mastermind of my mind. I walk the line like it's my inheritance, so long as I'm in character. I'm never lost in my mind, I'm fine. I'm the mastermind of my mind. I walk the line like it's my inheritance, so long as I'm in character. One wish I could ask, it'd be to separate this mask and do a take with my own face and try to make some eye contact. Is that so much to ask? Or for me, such a simple task upon me, not so difficult to do if you weren't such an ass. You see, you're the reason life ain't yellow brick and no one cares. You're your own worst critic and culprit to your nightmares. You're the only one standing as an obstacle to yourself. You gotta get out.
The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
3 little birds fixed by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and clean. 1, 2, 3 birds perched on my porch. How could I be perturbed? These birds know nothing of me but emerge in my mood as a symbol of freedom undeserved. Of course I am aware of and embarrassed by my privilege. I live in America, how could I be oblivious? I didn't grow up under a rock, I'm not ignorant. I have friends not benefiting from skin color differences. Far be it from me to be greedy, I wanna succeed, but financially I don't need it. I'm in a pickle, tickling me, cause I got an itch to be significant. But what's the cost of this sort of persistence when it's extraneous to existence on the surface? How hard do I gotta be working to prove my worth? How long am I gonna have to explain how I'm a rapper from Maine and how that has nothing to do with what I've been saying on the mic? Okay, white kid, zippity now. The privilege isn't how you can even distance it from where you're from. You walk around and flaunt it subconsciously and pride yourself in your moral upstanding commitment to honesty. And honestly, how could most people relate? Most people these days are making minimum wage while you get away with your 8-hour days. And a check that ensures weeks with plenty of food on your plate. The starving people out here, children in need of medicine for their diseases, diabetics and paraplegics, addicts attached to the feeling that Trump's living and dealing with bum dealings with cards of an unwieldy disposition. So while you're bitching, try to envision a different picture, one in which you are not directly benefiting from the system. Try to sympathize a little more. Most people's chores are grueling for reasons more than just being bored. Well, all of that is true, but it's still not a particularly complete picture. I got a couple mental predicaments that keep me from fully participating, and I know it. At least if I stay inside, I do not have to show it. I could be at a show supporting a local artist or two, but instead my mind's the color of darkness and blue. And the only way I know how to convey it is creativity. Though they say it should abate any need to be needed, I still need it. Better believe it. I know it. It sucks. I agree. So how do I continue to just be, despite knowing that my version of freedom's not a complete part of the picture? 3 little birds, I don't know, fixed by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. In case anyone wanted to know what happened to me, I've been sweeping all my broken pieces back into this big old heap. 'Cause whatever happened to me was no tragedy. I put too much on myself and felt the ground rise up to my knees. Yeah,
I was selfish, I couldn't help it. So much of my health had been compromised. Traded a bottle of water a day for shots and let up only to have a cup of coffee. I was trying to cope with the consequences without a note from the doctor's office. Obviously I was in need of some guidance. If I wasn't on autopilot, it might have enticed me to at least give it a try. I've entertained all mental material, aim at the next book, cause I am a textbook dilemma. If I had a hammer to slam into every damn nail ailing me, I'm fairly certain I'd still trip and impale my ego. But I keep going, I feel regal. Every pitfall requires its own sequel. Every origin story's a morbid endorsement for having a poor party to force a new course for destiny. Look at me beefing it up, pretending that I'm a supervillain again. What strut? 20 bars on and I'm not even on the same subject. I'm haunting myself, I'm beginning to suspect the foul play. I got a sour taste in my mouth, I'm an allergy to myself, and an hour late to my well-being. Belting it out, pity party, part of the pity pattern I put forth. Perhaps I was put on this planet to battle with brute force. The doors down with swords out, call me Garou. I was born with this gift, this shit just isn't my fault. Cursed and destined to walk earth with all of my girth, till it hurts to not perch and fall on my hearse like I rehearsed it. Hurts to spit bits of a truth I've been working real hard to hide under the roof, in the rain, in the attic, in the back of my brain, till I crack and the foundation crashes. It pains me to say it, but that's already happened. A critic I left Sean on the rubble and passed off as him and his image. I didn't even consider the damage, like walking the streets oblivious to the shit in my pants. This is just a gamble to me, like flying a drone camera without a gimbal to gander. No stability, no facility close to hosting my debilitating abilities. Might as well fill up my cup, cause I'm fucked, but at least I'm seeing it half full, despite demons fiending and pleading as I pull all of my might, all of my life, trying to decide whether it's not better to just head for the light. Either way, bite me. I'm so sorry that I'm this way sometimes. I'm just trying to find where my mind's at. Could've sworn I had it packed, well maybe the luggage was switched and I ain't getting it back. Imagine it, lights flashing, it's a magic trick. The rabbits disappeared into the hat. The bastard has a knack for dragging me back into the past for the sake of a knack. Rap addict, it's a crack pipe to me, even without hype. I get a free feeling when I'm reeling and knee deep in lyrics and feeling myself to the mic, peeling it layers till I got nothing to say and the pen breaks over some stupid shit that I write. God, if I could just be a little more modest. Honestly, I think they could appreciate it and probably put a pot of gold at the end of my rainbow. All I get is rain though, cost of a brain and the dang cold, ain't it the pain in the a-hole. Pay no attention to pain, abstain from haters and then pave a new lane. Hike the tolls and refrain from all maintenance, cause at the end of the day, no matter what they've been saying or trying to convey about you, you know you've been doing your greatest, and they couldn't possibly even contemplate or retain a single grain of it. They take it to tamper and paint it as if it's not as sacred as something Solomon said in the 10th century. And I think I've entered the third minute of this rant. I cannot seem to find the finish, though I pant. Every line I spit diminishes my plan at getting another chance. As critic in my hands, a cramp from writing, and I've been fighting anxiety so long I'm tired of tirelessly trying to belong from an era bygone. But by God, the gong says go, the gods say time's up, Adam says go home. Cause it's taking a toll in a whole 3 minutes here. 5 CDs and a whole lot of beer just to work to try to assert my damn worth, all in a title track called the 30th verse. So Spose, since you've been on cloud 9 and euphoric so long, I figured it time for me to forward a song. A diss track, dismantling this misguided praise you've gone and torn the states claiming to be king of Maine. Hated to be, knowing someone just as close to the sea is a better rapper and probably better suited to be where you stand. You know more than a man with his mic out, pandering to Maine as you may as well stand on a lighthouse, chasing every sensational novel idea. Why don't you throw the pen out? That'd be a novel idea. Or at least put some decent metaphors to the page. Think you've been breathing in too much reefer to even see straight. Think you've been seeing stars, believing that you ever peaked when you said you were awesome as a joke, but it seems that's the pinnacle of all that you could have been. Mr. Bean of rap, that's what you really are. Goofball, a boo, guess that makes me Jafar. Guess the further I stretch my pen, the meaner I get. But it doesn't mean I forget that I'm just as ridiculous. Seminal thought and consensus is that I'm bent to the neck, totally effed in the head, tone deaf and inept. But so be it. I still write a rap when I wanna, cause I need it. And it's a part of my public persona. Underneath the surface, so seriously, jealousy aside, good on you for keeping Maine music alive.